Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today, I'm going to be doing my to pull or not to pull video for Tifa for all of you guys out there that, didn't pull the trigger 6 seconds after the patch reveal, which came out 2 days ago. So I'm looking forward to it. Before I get into it, we do have 2 guilds recruiting in the Curseborn Alliance. Gilgamesh, a top 30/top 40 guild, and Leviathan, which is a top 5/top 10 guild. Each one is looking for 1 player, guys. So if you're looking to join a competitive guild, join our Discord, shoot me a DM, and I will put you in contact with the guild you are interested in speaking with. Alright, so that being said, guys, by the way, I apologize. I know my video is a little dark. When I record in the daytime, it's like super impossible to get it bright on me. And, I read your comment, guys. I know, use a lamp. I have 2 of them directly facing me right now. It's still this dark, so it is impossible. So I don't know what to do, guys. So anyway, that being said, let's get into it. This is looking like a really good banner, guys. Overall, super good banner. I really like the costume. This is one of my favorite costumes. I've heard people saying that they don't really like it that much. I feel like the costume's a vibe, guys. Like, it looks super sick. That is a shortest skirt I have literally ever seen in my entire life, guys. I don't even know if that could be called a skirt. I feel like that's like half a tear of paper towel colored black. But honestly, guys, like, this is the vibe that most people are looking for with Tifa, and I feel like it follows through on that promise. I really like the greaves right here. I like the flared out crimson armor right here with the gold, up here going into it. This looks like metal, so I'm not really sure how effective this would be in actual movement. It does look like it's disconnected. So, there would be still mobility in her knees, but considering she is like a hand-to-hand martial arts fighter, oh wow, the claws on the boots, that's actually pretty cool. And then the high heels, that would be hard. So if she can still do everything she does in high heels, like, that is absolutely commendable, guys. I don't even think I could walk around, let alone be flipping around and kicking the shit out of things. Alright, so other than that, I like the vibe. I like the colors, guys. I like gold, I like black, and I like crimson, which it has. And it kind of like burns into like pink right here, which is pretty sick. So the gloves look cool. I like her hairstyle a lot as well. With like the double ponytail, I guess the single ponytail, and then the hair coming down. She's got like the tiara with the cat ears going on, which I love. I like the little kind of face armor right here as well. She just looks really cool in my opinion. I feel like all the costumes for this anniversary have looked super cool. So it is nice to see them, continuing the trend. Now I want to see the actual animation. So let's go over here. Alright, there it is. Damn, it's like a double axe kick. That's actually super sick. What was the last one? It wasn't a kick, right? So we got the spin, 1, 2, and then the Hadouken at the end. It's a super cool one, guys. I like it a lot. Alright? Alright, so let's go in here. Let's actually take a look at everything that's going on. So here's the armor of the worthy. This is continuing the, trend of boost attack all allies, which we saw in the first anniversary on the Bahamut gear. This is going to give us all allies physical attack plus 10, all allies magic attack plus 10, and then both physical and magic plus 5%. So super solid to, kind of contribute to the team. Then we have Claw of the Worthy, which is not quite an Earth Arcanum. It's short 5%, but it is going to be, vastly better because of the secondary ability right here. So we get the Earth ability 30%, and then attack stance command gauge max physical ability damage plus 20%, guys. So very strong. Power creep is definitely here for these costumes. I do not know how Yuffie by herself is going to hold up in comparison to Tifa now, considering that Yuffie at OB6 and Tifa at OB1 have a 5% difference in the damage in their weapons. So Tifa is definitely going to be like more than 1 step above Yuffie. I would say more like 3 steps above. I don't know if you have Yuffie at OB10. Like if we go here to the wish list and we go down to Yuffie, all right, and we find her Hawkeye, we take it to OB10. Yeah, so it's going to be 850%. Okay, also when HP is 70% or more, you get plus 1.2 times damage. So 10% is 85 times 2 is 170. So we're looking at 950, so 1020% damage when her HP is above 70%. So let's say that that is half the battle. So we can just basically cut that in half and say 85%. So it's like 935% average with Yuffie. So I do think that she will still be able to compete. You know, the lack of a better Arcanum is definitely going to make an impact in this. So like it's hard to say whether or not like Yuffie will be able to clear hard content. I will say that having Hawkeye at OB6 kind of, you know, there was no way I was going to clear escalation level 20. But now I think people are going to be like burning through the new levels with Tifa. So that'd be interesting to see, guys. But I mean, yeah, it is hard to say whether or not, you know, Yuffie will be able to compete. I think that likely she will be able to in like 95% of Earth physical content. She'll still be okay. You know, if you guys have Hawkeye at OB10 and you have, you know, her Arcanum, which I don't have. I have a Hawkeye at OB6 and no Arcanum. So, you know, if you don't have the Arcanum costume and you're like me, where physical Earth is a weakness in your account, then Tifa is looking more and more promising, guys. And, you know, the nice thing about Tifa is that I don't think that it's actually necessary to take her to OB10. There's only, and we'll get there when I get to OB10 here, but there's not that huge of a difference between OB6 and OB10. I mean, of course it's going to, you know, be that much stronger, and so it's going to be easier to clear content because you're killing bosses faster. You know, if you guys look at some of the, like, really strong players clearing battles, you know, they're clearing these battles before they get to certain phases of the boss, you know, that totally can change the fight for people with less DPS going into the fight. So there's going to be that advantage there. The question is like whether or not it's you know, imperative to go to OB10, and I would say that, you know, looking at this, I don't think that it is, guys. I think that 100% of content will still be able to be cleared at OB6 with Tifa. Which is great. Obviously, in the Guild War, OB10 is going to be where it's at if you're trying to be as strong as possible. But let's take a look at this, all right? So we have the weapon at OB1, level 120. We have 403 physical attack. At OB1, it's going to deal 720% physical earth damage, which is 5% less than Hawkeye at OB6, which deals 725% physical earth damage. Now, Hawkeye gets a 1.2% boost, but this one gives earth potency up. This one's going to be low to mid, right? So you're going to get the mid right there, plus 1 ATB gauge at the beginning of the battle, which is nice to have. You know, it's like having a free ATB boost R ability on the weapon, which is cool. Then, awesomely, we have boost physical attack to all allies, guys. You know, these weapons are so important. It's so many battles, I'm just stacking physical attack to all allies in my sub-weapons. So, you know, if you don't have that many of these, I'd say you want at least 2 physical attack to all allies at OB6 or higher in your guys' kit, and then at least 2 magic attack to all allies in your kit at OB6 or higher, preferably 3, but these are really good, guys. So physical attack, magic attack to all allies is I would say amongst the best S tier R abilities that you guys can get in the game. Then we have Earth Potency here. The support abilities double physical attack boost, so they match. That's always nice. And then X Sigil boost, which is good as well. You know, the Earth damage potency, I wonder how relevant the all allies part will be. You know, realistically, I think you're bringing a super strong Earth character, you're bringing an Imperialer, you're bringing a healer in a strong fight. The Guild War, I think, will be different. We'll probably be able to run Yuffie and Tifa, as we can typically, you know, double or triple up on the DPS, especially in the lower stages. But then after the Guild War, guys, it makes sense to me that the Hawkeye weapon will become a sub-weapon for Tifa. And it's going to be harder and harder and harder to pair Yuffie into the fight. That's just my guess. So she'll probably fall off in favor of Tifa as the stronger Earth physical, caster right here, guys. But it's nice that it is all allies. I mean, obviously, we really want it to hit Tifa. That's the most important thing. The fact that it's all allies is just a nice boost on the off chance that we can run 2 DPS, and then it's fantastic, guys. So honestly, this weapon all around, I would say is, it's hard to say. Honestly, all the weapons in the anniversary have been great. I still think Vincent's is really good. It is a little gimmicky, guys, but the fact that it opens up, the capacity to use ice against other targets is really interesting. It gives it more range than a single solitary element. However, this weapon, for its own element, actually takes precedence in my opinion because, it's completely focused just on Earth. And I feel like, this is officially like Tifa at OB10 with this setup is the strongest element in the game, which is crazy because physical Earth was the weakest element in the game for a very, very long time. And so, it is really cool to see it kind of just flip the table and take the crown. So let's take a look at this at OB6. So physical attack 633. We're going to get 990% physical Earth damage, guys, against a single enemy. There's no caster, stipulation here. That's always going to be 990% damage when HP is 50% or more. And this could be 70, guys, but it's 50. And 50 is great, right? We're going to get Earth damage is increased, potency mid to high. The duration is 20 seconds. Obviously, she'll just be spamming this attack, so it doesn't really matter. And we get condition first use +2 ATB gauge. At OB6, we get boost physical attack to all allies, 40 points. So, the max this is going to get is 46 points, right? So, I think that's going to unlock this one right here, which is only going to give you an extra 3% physical attack, guys, but the physical attack itself is just going to stay at 60, the raw stat. So 3%, it's not that big of a difference. Obviously, this will be in the main hand, but I think in a lot of ways, this weapon is still going to be absolutely great at OB6, unless you guys are just absolutely amped on Tifa and you really want to make a super strong Earth team. Then you guys can take it up to OB10. So at OB10, physical attack 691, really high, and the 690s is super high. It's going to deal 1,120%, which is 130% more than OB6, so definitely a good amount. And like I said, it's going to make, those harder battles easier because you're going to be able to kill them faster. But whether or not, OB6 is going to, prevent you from clearing those battles, I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it. So I do think that in most cases, OB6 is probably going to suffice. However, for limited DPS weapons, typically I want to go to OB10. For a DPS weapon, the end goal is always going to be OB10, guys. So, it can be kind of tricky. Is it worth it for the extra 130%? The duration, you don't even really need to care about that because, she's going to be chain casting this ability. Is the extra 1 ATB gauge at the beginning of the fight really worth it? In my opinion, is it worth all the crystals, that it could potentially take to go from OB6 to OB10? In my opinion, I don't think so. I would rather save those crystals for a completely new banner, open up something else in my account, and have a little bit of a harder time against certain content, but, still basically have a guarantee to be able to beat any of that content. Now, will OB6 be able to clear escalation level 30 Odin? Probably not, right? So there's probably going to be some things where it's going to fall short, but unless you guys are trying to clear literally every single boss in the game, I don't really think it's going to be necessary. I just want to strengthen my account, open up my account to be able to play as many different types of content as possible. It's impossible for me to be as strong as possible in every element, right? In order to do that, you have to spend in the game. And, you know, even though I do spend in the game, I'm not trying to spend inordinate amounts of money in order to do that, because I can still have fun fighting 99% of the content in the game and beating 99% of the content in the game. You know, I still think that that's a good time. However, for those of you guys that do take it to OB10, it is going to be an absolute slayer powerhouse of a monster weapon, guys. It is going to be so strong. So yeah, honestly guys, that is my take on the weapon itself and the costume. I think that overall it is a very good banner. You're basically guaranteed OB3 by the end of the second page. I do believe there is a featured rate up on all of these banners, so hopefully you guys get some good luck. I've been hearing a lot of good things from players. I've heard of multiple players getting OB10 by the end of the second stamp card on several of these banners. So, you know, the odds are there in your favor right now, guys. The only like caveat that I have to this is we don't know what Angeal is. Angeal is coming last, right? And whatever typically is coming last, you know, has to be good, because a lot of people have been tempted in banner number 1, number 2, number 3 up until this point. People are going to have their crystals depleted. It's going to be a lot easier for people to say no to the final banner unless it's super good, guys. So, you know, especially with Barrett kind of just like coming out in force and taking the tank throne and just like owning it right now, I feel like Angeal really needs something pretty special in his kit, and I'm really curious to see what that's gonna be. I feel like it will be something Earth related, which for me would be less incentive to pull. You know, I want something that's kind of more well-rounded for him as an account, so to be locked into an element like Tranquility with water, I feel like might not be the best. But you know, like I said guys, this banner is going to be here till April 23rd. The Guild War doesn't start till next week on Wednesday, so the Guild War is literally going to start the day Angeal's banner drops. So there's absolutely no rush here, guys. You can always go in on this banner the day Guild War starts, etc., if you're trying to, you know, be strong for your guild. But I don't think there's any rush here, guys. I think that it would be good to wait to see Angeal, and then we can look at all 4 banners as a whole, and then you can kind of just take a look, you know, for your account and what you guys want to go to. Alright, so that being said guys, that is going to conclude my to pull or not to pull video. I hope it helps you guys. I'm curious, are you guys pulling for Tifa? Did you already pull for Tifa? Are you waiting for Angeal? I'm always curious to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments. And like I said, if you guys are looking to join a guild, Gilgamesh and Leviathan are currently recruiting, so join our Discord, send me a DM, and I'll put you guys in touch. That being said, you know, if you guys like this video today, please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.